came through a rough patch, man. About 2 weeks of dealing with pancreatitis. So it's something that I've dealt with for about 13 years. So I have what's called acute or chronic pancreatitis, and I have dealt with this for over a decade. It is very painful, but not unpredictable, and it's genetic. Like, I didn't get it from drinking too much. I didn't get it from alcoholism or anything like that. It's genetic. My dad died from pancreatic cancer, and it's just one of those things that has been with me for quite some time. So my dad died from pancreatic cancer in 2016. So 2016 is when my dad passed. And since that time, my pancreatitis has gone up or down a little bit. Prior to that, I wasn't taking it serious as I should. I wasn't eating properly all the time. And I was definitely having almost daily bouts of pancreatic related issues. And I was getting my butt kicked. Now, my dad dying, that was a wake-up call. Like, pancreatic cancer is no joke. It happens quickly. It takes a mean toll on the patient, and it's not very survivable. And that was a huge wake-up call for me. And talking to his oncologist, Dr. Mimon and Dr. Siddiqui, and they both were like, hey, you have pancreatitis. My mom told him about it. And they said, listen, we understand you have this pancreatic issue. They took a look at my records. They were like, hey, we're going to have a very frank discussion with you. You, by the choices you're making with your diet and things like that, are putting yourself at greater risk than necessary. This doesn't have to turn into something. This can be something that eventually maybe subsides, goes away completely, and never turns into anything. But if you keep making these choices and you keep eating these foods and you keep doing these things, you will probably create a problem for yourself. And so I took their advice to heart, and I went to work on myself. And with the exception of a small period of time in there, I have worked very hard to keep myself in shape and keep my diet on point. Now, here's the things that you have to watch out for when dealing with the condition I deal with, right? Sugar. Sugar is the devil. So as much as I like a Coke, as much as I like a nice sugary drink or a sweet, you have to be extremely careful with that. Now, for my personality, I'm an all or nothing type person. I am either all in or all out, and I can't find a way to ever be in the middle. I've never been successful at moderation. I've never been able to pull that off. Hats off to the people that can, but for me, all in. So I have had to cut sugar. I have had to drastically reduce the amount of sweets that I will allow myself to have, which means pretty much zero. And I have had to watch also my carb intake because of those things. Now, on the other side of that, I have to be careful of fats. So I can eat chicken, turkey, all kinds of things. I could eat a fatty cut of steak and pretty much be in the hospital in about 2 days. Pretty much will be wrecked and in a very bad state very quickly. Same with fish. So I could have, say, some salmon, some nice fatty, good fats, what people would say are good fats, but not good for me, right? Because of the condition. So eat a piece of salmon and I will start to feel the pain. I will start to feel the effects, right, of my body saying, hey man, we've told you about this before. So I say all that to say this: when it comes to dealing with these conditions and working your way through chronic pain of all types, you have to really have a program in place that starts with mindset first and really programs you, drives you to find this other side of yourself, to find this altered state that allows you to get up and drive on through the pain, through the discomfort. During this last bout with pancreatitis, I missed one class. I coached all my other classes. I taught an 8-hour coach's candidate course. And then finally, the fever was too great and the vomiting, nausea was just too far out of hand. And so I took one day, which was a Tuesday. So it started on a Thursday of last week, and it continued through until today. So today I'm starting to clear up, come out of the woods a little bit. But I did take Tuesday of this week off from coaching and just stayed at the house, laid low, and dealt with the nausea. Because one of the things too is you have chronic nausea. It's relentless. And so you feel like you're going to puke at any minute. What are the upsides to this? What is the point of this? The point of this is to share with you guys that if you have your mind right and you have your heart right, if you decide that what I do from a servant's heart. What I do is to give, right? Everything is about giving to my students, giving to the people that are trusting me to train them, giving to the world around me, bringing my best self, the best version of me, creating the best version of me, and then bringing that person to the world. If you truly believe that, and that's your operating system, then it's easier to get through these times. When I didn't have this mindset, trying to get through a week or two bout of like a pancreatitis attack was just miserable, and bad thoughts would go through my head, ways out, ways to just not have to deal with it. Those things would start to percolate and circulate, and that's not good. And so taking it out of myself and putting my purpose, reminding myself that my purpose is to serve others, taking that mindset and really focusing on that is what has kept me through repeated bouts with this stuff. And I don't talk about it a lot with the people in my circles. I don't talk about it with my students, but I wanted to share with you guys how I deal with it, how I deal with a chronic pain condition, yes, you could say. Discomfort, at least. There's always something twinging, and the negativity associated with it, which is, am I setting myself up for pancreatic cancer? Am I putting myself at risk? And then finding a way to leave all that behind and continue to serve and focus on others. And in finding that way to focus on others and to serve others helps me get past the pain. It's this really cool cycle where once I realize I'm going to find a way, because my job is to serve my students and to serve others and to create a higher version of myself and give that to the world as an offering of thanks to the God above, who's allowed me to live through some crazy things that should have killed me and allowed me to then use those things to impact and help others. I need to get up and get moving. I need to get out of this bed. I need to get off of this floor. I need to get in the shower, get cleaned up, and get out there and serve. And I hope this helps you in some way. If you're dealing with anything like this, that's just chronic pain, chronic discomfort, find a way to serve others. And that will pull you out of the mental battle that you inevitably face, that I know you face.